So I recently asked you guys what topics you wanted me to cover. And you guys submitted so many great topics and subjects that we can talk about, and I am going to do my best to cover as many of them as possible. But one that I saw quite regularly that I'm going to address today came from Stormy Night, and their question was, when does the narc get their karma? And that's a great question because we've talked about how we cannot exact revenge on a narcissist. There's nothing we can do to get back at them, to hurt them, to take satisfaction and get some peace from the hurt that they've caused us. And all we can do is wait for karma. And there are several religions and spiritual beliefs that do believe karma is coming. What you put out into the universe is coming back to you. And that works for both good and bad. If you're a good person, if you are kind, that's going to come back to you. You're going to reap the benefits and rewards for being a good heart. If you're a bad person, if you're manipulative, if you are hurtful to people, is that going to come back on you? Are you going to pay the price for being a narcissist, for being an abusive person? My guess is yes. I think that all narcissists, all abusive people are going to pay the price. And in fact, I think they're currently paying the price. I think that being an abusive person is very toxic to themselves. When you have to put a mask on and off, depending on who you're interacting with, when you have to decide how you're going to treat somebody, whether you're going to be kind to them that day or whether you're going to be nasty to them that day, that takes a real toll on a person like that because you're never your genuine self. You can't relax, you can't let your guard down, you cannot enjoy the day, you cannot enjoy your life. You are constantly working. You never get a vacation because this is all by design. Narcissists abuse you with intent, with a purpose for a specific outcome. It's usually to control you, to remind you who's boss, and to keep you in line, to let you know that there are consequences to your actions, that you don't have free will. And so that does not necessarily come naturally to them. They have to put conscious effort into doing that, to acting like that. So that has got to be exhausting to some extent. That means they are always on. They can't relax. And that would explain why they're so bitchy, why they are so easily triggered to reacting and to rage, because they can't just relax and be themselves and enjoy the moment. Let's not forget also that narcissism is a self-defense mechanism. Narcissism evolves from abuse suffered by someone in childhood. And whether that abuse is child abuse, physical, manipulative, they're raised by a narcissistic parent, or it could be that they're overindulged, that they're the golden child, that they're put on a pedestal their whole life. And when that person goes into the real world and they realize they are in fact not a god to everyone, the world does not revolve around them, That's a pretty big blow. And they have inner turmoil that they are dealing with. They are trying to make sense of the world as it was shown to them in childhood, and it's nothing like that. So they are fighting, they are trying to understand, and then this narcissism, this narcissistic personality develops from this abuse and this feeling attacked by both society and themselves. Narcissists have extremely low self-esteem. It does not look like that. It does not appear to be that way on the outside, but inside, they are fighting with themselves constantly. They are miserable people. And a good point to make here is we've talked about how narcissists love to steal the joy from your happy moments, whether it's your birthday or the holidays or any type of celebration where you should be happy, you should be enjoying the moment, you should be happy together. And again, this doesn't have to be just your romantic partner, it could be your parent or your sibling. But what the narcissist must do in these situations is suck the joy out of it for you. And they're very much a parasite in this way because they are using your joy to fulfill themselves, because they don't have that capability to feel joy and happiness the way you and I do. And it upsets them and it angers them to see you happy. So in order to feel happiness, they must steal your joy. And where their satisfaction comes from is watching them control your emotions. Watching them be able to have the power over you, to see you get hurt, get sad, be unable to enjoy this happy moment, knowing that they have that power over you, gives them an ego boost. That gives them joy, and that makes them happy. That's a sick person. I feel sorry for that person. I feel a great amount of pity to the person that cannot feel genuine joy and love. And that, to me, equals karma. That person is suffering karma right now. We can't see it because it's internal. It's on the inside, and we only see the way it manifests itself in the form of rage and abuse. But inside the narcissist's mind and black, crinkly, dark heart, I do believe they are suffering. They are broken, pitiful, sad people. And if you want to take satisfaction in knowing the narc is going to get their karma, I think you can safely do that. I think if you, once you get away from the abuse and once you go no contact, this all becomes much more clear. When you're still in the abusive situation, it's going to be impossible to see. Once you leave and you can start reflecting, I think that's such an important part of healing. It's an absolutely necessary part to healing. You must reflect on your relationship. You must reflect on yourself, and you can reflect on the other person, the abusive person. And once you're able to step back and do that, you're going to be able to see the signs of the misery that that person suffers. They're not happy. They can seem happy. They can turn it on and off. You know, you've been at that party and they're the life of the party and everybody loves them and they're charismatic and charming and they really seem to exude joy and happiness. But you can, if you watch them carefully, you'll catch that glimpse of that dead eye stare and that blank face, and a moment of reality hits them and they're suffering this turmoil in their own minds, and then they have to turn it back on and on again. So to live like that, I really do feel sorry for people, and I wish there was a fix for them, because honestly, it's a life sucker. They've lost a sense of what makes humans human. To not have genuine human emotion, to not have the ability to love, to care, and to hurt, for them to feel hurt, because they don't. They have no genuine emotions. Yes, they get mad. Yes, they get angry. But to be hurt and really lovesick, no. They just move on to the next, and they just feed like parasites. They suck the love out of us. They use it to feed themselves, and it goes a very, very small way before they have to do it again, which is why you see these patterns and these ongoing cycles with narcissists. It never stops. They cannot just feed themselves, be full, and be satisfied. It lasts a very short time. So I do believe that narcs suffer karma. I believe they're suffering it right now. And I think as they age, as they cycle through more of these relationships, as more people come and go, especially if their victims are the ones to leave them, eventually their human brain is going to have to rationalize with them to some extent to tell them, look it, these people are all leaving you. You've got to accept some responsibility. And their narcissistic brain is going to fight that and deny it and still blame it on the other people. It'll never be their fault, because that's just a part of being narcissistic. But there will be that glimpse that they will have to fight, and they will have that torment in their own brain. And that karma, I believe, will hit them. It will hit them hard, and they will pay the price for their abuses. They're not going to get away with it. Eventually, somehow, some way, these people will see the damage that they've done. Now, I'm sorry to say, they're not going to care a whole lot. They're not going to try to make amends. They're not going to reach out to ever apologize to you, unless they have ulterior motives. But they will. Guys, just know that karma comes back to everybody, good or bad. What you put out in the universe is coming back to you. So don't focus on them and what they're getting. Focus on you. You be a good person. You put out the love and the positivity and the high vibes that you want to come back to you, and they will. And that's all you need to focus on. You need to focus on yourself. Leave the narcissist in your past and move forward with love in your heart and joy in your smile. Okay, guys, I hope this video gives you some hope and it sheds some light on this question. I know you guys are curious. It was something I was always very curious about myself. And I think once you believe it, it really does give you some satisfaction and some help to move on and move forward. I love you all. If you liked this video, please click the thumbs up button. And if you don't already, please subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.